Welcome to this Doctorspective Explainer. Today, we're taking a deep, dark dive into the terrifying biological reality of extreme sleep deprivation. We're going to use some incredibly realistic 3D medical animations to visualize a suspenseful countdown. We'll see exactly what happens inside your body when you completely deny it its most basic need.
So I want you to imagine this scenario. You wake up on a normal Monday morning. You feel totally fine, right? But as night falls, instead of getting into bed, you just keep your eyes open. You absolutely refuse to rest.
You push through Tuesday, then Wednesday rolls around, and then Thursday. And all the while, you are actively ignoring the desperate biological alarms your body is practically screaming at you, begging you to just close your eyes.
So, what actually happens next? If you stayed awake for an entire week, would you just feel, a little tired? Or does your descent into exhaustion literally shatter your grip on reality?
Let's map out this timeline. A biological ticking clock of 7 days of sleep deprivation. Day 1 is fatigue. Day 2, you're losing focus. Day 3 brings hallucinations. Day 5 triggers shutdowns. And Day 7 is a complete physical breakdown. Over the next 7 days, we're going to watch a healthy human body undergo a progressive, terrifying collapse.
Moving right into Day 1, the body sounds the alarm.
Right at the 16 to 24-hour mark, exhaustion sets in. Simple, everyday tasks take way longer. If we look inside the brain, those glowing neurons responsible for attention and decision-making actually begin to dim. They're working much less efficiently. Your reaction time slows down tremendously, which makes doing something mundane, like getting behind the wheel of a car, incredibly dangerous. Your body is sending you a very clear message to sleep right now, but you ignore it.
That brings us to Day 2. Losing focus.
As we cross the 36 to 48-hour threshold, the changes become systemic. You're going to experience dramatic mood swings and become unusually irritated. You might even find yourself reading the exact same sentence over and over again because your exhausted brain is just struggling to process it. Your memory becomes super unreliable. And physically, your immune system is starting to suffer, and your ability to regulate blood sugar and appetite is completely thrown out of balance.
And all of this triggers a truly terrifying biological glitch known as microsleeps. A microsleep is this brief period where parts of your brain literally force you into a sleep-like state for a few seconds, completely without your permission. You might look awake, your eyes could be wide open, but your brain has actually shut down. Imagine this happening while you're driving down the highway. It transforms sleep deprivation from just being uncomfortable into something absolutely life-threatening.
Now we enter Day 3. Reality shifts.
At around 72 hours awake, your brain has been denied its critical reset for days, and serious cognitive changes are kicking in. Your thoughts get super confused, and your emotions almost impossible to control. You're dealing with fear, anger, and anxiety. Frighteningly, you start experiencing perceptual distortions. You're essentially dreaming while you're awake. You might start seeing movements in the dark shadows or hearing sounds that absolutely are not there. Just for some context, most people tap out right around here. But incredibly, the world record for staying awake is actually 11 days. Let's see what happens to the body if you just keep going.
Here we are at Day 4, paying a heavier price.
By the 4th day, we are looking at a full-on systemic breakdown. Your immune defenses are severely weakened, stress hormones are constantly elevated, and if we look at the internal organs, this puts a massive strain on your heart and blood vessels, causing really erratic heartbeats. Your body also completely forgets how to regulate hunger properly, so it demands quick, sugary bursts of energy just to keep you going. And listen, no amount of caffeine can fix this. Sure, a coffee might hide the exhaustion for an hour, but it does absolutely zero to repair the mounting damage inside you.
Next up, Day 5, the brain forces shutdowns.
One of the absolutely most frightening parts of extreme sleep deprivation at this stage is this dangerous illusion you fall into. Your brain is so incredibly exhausted that it literally loses the capacity to accurately judge its own impairment. You might honestly think to yourself, I'm fine, but the reality, you are completely vulnerable. You're making terrible decisions, all while falsely believing your reaction time, memory, attention, and judgment are perfectly normal. In truth, they are seriously compromised.
At this point, you might just completely lose track of time. You might stare blankly into space or entirely forget a conversation that happened literally 2 minutes ago. Your coordination drops so drastically that simple, everyday movements just feel impossible. And those terrifying microsleeps we talked about, they start hijacking your consciousness with alarming frequency.
Moving into Day 6, the line blurs.
By day 6, your consciousness is highly unstable. Your entire biological system is screaming for rest, and this leads to some really bizarre periods of automatic behavior. You might perform an action, like walking around or doing a chore, but your mind is completely absent. You have zero memory of doing it. You become totally confused about what is real and what isn't, leading to deep paranoid thoughts. Physically, the stress is just enormous. Your heart rate and blood pressure regulation become totally erratic, your metabolism gets disrupted, and your immune response grows even weaker.
Finally, day 7, the dangerous extreme.
We have reached the absolute breaking point. 7 days without sleep brings profound mental confusion, severe, unavoidable microsleeps, and a completely distorted perception of the world. The terrifying biological truth here is that the human brain just cannot function normally forever without sleep. Eventually, your body will forcefully shut you down. It will simply pull the plug to avoid catastrophic, fatal failure.
So let's talk about the antidote, why your body needs sleep.
To pull us out of this dark descent, let's look at the critical internal maintenance that happens when we actually do rest. When you sleep, your body is not doing nothing. It's incredibly active. Number 1, your brain processes information and actively strengthens your memory. 2, your hormones are regulated. 3, your immune system receives vital support. 4, your muscles and tissues physically recover. And 5, your brain gets a much-needed reset. During healthy sleep, your body is actively fighting for your survival.
Sleep is not a luxury. It really isn't wasted time. It is literally one of the most fundamentally important biological processes keeping you alive. I want you to remember this the very next time you decide to sacrifice another night of sleep for work, or you find yourself endlessly scrolling on your phone in the dark. Your body might